All right, everybody. I'm Taylor Tannenbaum from the ACC Network. Special guest today, Eric Mac Lain, my analyst for the ACC Network, joining Billy Embody, Bill Armstrong for the Walking Strong podcast. Let's get it going, folks.
This is the On the Pony Express podcast, hosted by Billy Embody, brought to you by Epic Estate Wines. Walking Strong on the Pony Express, a weekly segment with SMU alum, owner, vintner of Epic Estate Wines, Bill Armstrong. Epic Estate Wines, world-class wines from Paso Robles wine country. Learn more, Epic, E-P-O-C-H, epicwines.com. And now your host. Billy Embody.
1, 2, 3, let me go. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Walking Strong with Bill Armstrong. I'm Billy Embody, special guest. ACC Network's Eric Mac Lain. Welcome to Dallas.
Let's go. I'm excited to be here, excited to be with you guys. And we're doing a podcast on the 5-yard line. We're good. We're in a good spot.
We're in the red zone.
We're in the red zone. You know what I do? All right, here's the deal. Let me hold this for a second.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I'm an offensive lineman, big guy. They want to run the ball around here. Let me tell you, when you got Preston freaking Stone, and I see man-to-man coverage, you know what I'm doing? I'm throwing the goal line fade. And it's an easy touchdown every single time.
You know what? Spoken as a, he was a tight end before he was on the inside line. And you weighed 240 and you went to 330?
240. So I come onto campus at 240, 245.
And you have soft hands.
It's a great hand. Look how big these things are. You see that?
They are.
Hold it up, Billy.
I could
hold it up, Billy. Come on. You can have some of that too.
I could make a really nasty comment right now, but I'm not going to.
Thank you. Hi, Mom. Thanks for watching. But yeah, came in as a tight end. But I was like a Big Ten tight end. I wasn't an ACC tight end. Big guy, probably running a 4.9 on my best day. But sure hands. Jason
sure
Witten
hands.
type guy. I'm getting the first down. Yeah. I'm not getting you yak. I'm not getting you yak.
I was going to say, if you're going to compare yourself to a tight end, that's a pretty damn good one.
Come on. But then, just found out what the weight room was, found out where the dining hall was, and 90 pounds later.
Once you're eating like 6-7 meals a day.
Well, so when I made the transition, I had to gain weight. So, I'm probably 255, 260 at the time, kind of my peak tight end day. And to make that transition, you can't play inside offensive guard against Grady Jarrett at 260.
Yeah.
You get destroyed. And so, I had to eat, 7 meals a day. And
was it like carbs, pizza? What were you doing?
No, I tried to do it really smart. I didn't want to just be fat, and just fluffy and whatever. So I wanted to put on meaningful stuff. Certainly had that in there, but, I wasn't eating because I was hungry. I was literally eating to gain weight. To a point where I hated food. It was a brutal time, but we did it. It worked out. Turned into a first-team All-ACC caliber player, and wouldn't trade anything in my career for that.
You played for Chad Morris as well, so there's a SMU connection.
Oh my God, I forgot about you. Yeah. Don't say that again. I don't say that again because there's a couple of ex-coaches that I don't want to talk about.
No.
Sonny, I will never leave you, Dykes.
And then we've torn down that wall. Hey, you had to come on the podcast. You had to get a little taste of that. You got a little taste of SMU football today. What are your initial impressions of seeing them in person?
Yeah, well, here's the deal. You guys are going to be good, and I think you're going to be good in a hurry. You look at the talent, who all has come back. You're 7 of your top pass catchers. Seeing those guys today, because obviously 5 at a time can play max. Normally it's 4 or 3. And it just kept rolling. Just guys after guy after guy. RJ Maryland, freak, tight end, a guy that, man, you can leave him on the field. You can split him out wide by himself on an island. You can put him at 3 back in the backfield, line him up as traditional tight end. He provides so much versatility where you don't have to substitute.
Yeah.
And what that does is get those big, fat, sloppy defensive linemen. They can't get out because we're going so fast and we can give you a bunch of different looks. So I love that. Preston looked great. Kevin looked great. The old adage is
we have a good quarterback.
We have a great quarterback.
We've got a great quarterback. Luster's kicking ass too. He can move. You got smooth as butter.
Yeah, and what people would say is if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one. That's not the case. You got a guy that won the division or got the berth to the championship. Then you have another guy that comes in and won the championship game. Both looked great today. Had some super electric plays. I think the play of the day, Jennings throws a 70-yard bomb, for a touchdown. And then Preston just
he had an open field and he threw it for 70 yards.
Right.
It was I was watching. I was kind of going, damn, you got a lot of running room. And then just fires that.
I don't need that. I don't need that. I'll just
and he's leaning to his left.
Yeah.
It was just
it was impressive.
It was like that throw against Boston College that we dropped in the Fenway Bowl, and it was just like on a dime. Yeah. It was just beautiful.
Very impressive. So all that easy to see. The offensive line looked good. Defensive line looked good. I think that's going to be the biggest point of emphasis. When you're transitioning from group of 5 to power 5, people are going to immediately look at the lines of scrimmage. I think you have Power's line of scrimmage on both of those, and I expect big things year one.
What's amazing to me right now is our defense is kicking our offense's ass. I mean, is that always the way it is this early in the it's I mean, I'm watching, I'm kind of going, Preston and KJ are running for their life every snap. And so we back when Chad was our coach here, we sucked at defense. Right. We just tried to outscore everybody. When that was our MO. Yeah. And it was a little bit that way with Sonny. Right. But now we just we're really building a D.
Right. And you know why that is, why they beat our butt over there? It's because they cheat. They're cheaters. You know this. They get the script. They know what plays we're going to run, and then they scheme it up. It drives me nuts.
Oh, you're talking about in practice?
Yeah.
I'm like, we're talking about in a game. I'm like going,
no.
Are we talking about
breaking news?
Are we talking about Michigan? Are we talking about Michigan?
Where are they? What's that guy's name? He's running around somewhere. Yeah, Stallions.
Wow. Oh, see, they're overhead.
I got you.
You killed me. Right over. But no, the defense does look great.
They look really good. Yeah.
When I talk about the lines of scrimmage, there, you guys number 2 in the country in sacks, top 10, I think, in tackles for loss. So those chaos, those crazy things that get you behind the line of scrimmage, that's instrumental. I think the really next big step is stopping the run. I mean, you're coming into the ACC, into this league, running backs galore. I'm trying to do a top 10 list, and I can't. I'm leaving too many good guys off. And so that is it has to be a massive point of emphasis this year that I know, obviously, these guys, they're ready and locked in.
Yeah, isn't this kid from Cal like really good running back?
Bad boy.
Aren't they saying he may be player of the year, maybe
they're
a
thinking
potential Heisman? The Dark Horse Heisman. Yeah. He's good. So excited. Hey, you know what? We didn't even talk about his backstory. Can we do that just a little bit?
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's go.
I love it. Your dad's in the military.
Yeah, was
just retired.
Congratulations.
But he was. You were telling me he was a bit of a badass. He was a medic.
He is.
He would go in on like choppers and find guys in Afghanistan, Iraq, and all shot up and put them back together on the plane or on the chopper. Yeah. And so unbelievable.
No, he's my superhero, man. He's my hero, and it was hard to understand back in the day, right? When I'm a kid and dad has to go to war. I mean, that's crazy to think about. And, just to see the things, to hear, hear about the things and the experiences. But he made that decision to make the ultimate sacrifice.
He re-upped after 9/11, right?
He did. So he was got out when I was born. Towers fell. He got back in. And I'm talking about that sprinting to Iraq, sprinting to war. So he
actually played in the NFL, didn't he?
A little bit. Little drink of water here in Dallas, here with the Cowboys.
With the Cowboys.
Little cup of tea. Little cup of tea with the Cowboys. Was a fast dude. He was a fast safety, hard-hitting safety. But
how does a fast safety have a 4.9
equate to this? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Well, my mom's 6'2", so
okay.
The genetics thing it worked out there. My brother's 6'4" pilot in the Air Force.
I'm surprised they even have room in a cockpit.
Well,
for a 6'4" guy.
He's slender. He's not like me. He's like my mom. He's slender and he fits places. But yeah, Pops, man. All the planes that he flew in, the things that he saw, the sacrifice that he made.
Good for him.
Can never repay him for that.
Yeah,
none of us can. All of our great heroes.
Our whole country owes him a debt of gratitude.
Everybody.
Okay, so then you grew up mostly Tennessee, right?
Yep.
And you were committed to the Vols.
Tennessee, it's a Fulmer.
And you were like all in.
Yeah.
And then he gets fired. Or did he
got
move
fired.
or he got fired?
He got fired.
Okay.
After a 10-win year.
Might have been there during that.
Maybe.
Coordinator.
Maybe. Yeah. That was It would have been 2007. 2007.
Or his dad.
Yeah. So he gets fired.
So Lane Kiffin comes in.
Lane Kiffin comes to town. Yeah. And this is crazy. This is how Lane Kiffin shook my hand the first time I met him. Can y'all see that? I'm a military guy here. I'll give you some of that action too.
Oh, geez.
I'm a military kid.
I'm getting wood.
And So my dad's there with me. I don't know if I've ever told this story on air. So breaking news here for y'all. Yeah. So we're sitting in the office. That happens. I like look at my dad like, what is that? What just happened to me? Because I'm confused. I mean, I'm used to soldiers shaking and ripping and ripping. Yeah. So we're in there, and this dude, man, I'm sure he's grown up a little bit and would love to, cover whatever one day, but just not ready to be a head coach, not ready to be a head coach. And he's sitting there and giving us the car salesman pitch and all these things, and he looks at my dad and says, "This must be a real dream come true for you." And if y'all know anything about my pops, he looked him dead in his eye and said, "No, sir. This was my dream. This would be Notre Dame, and you'd be Charlie Weiss."
Oh my!
Safe to say, we decommitted a couple hours later.
That is awesome.
It was just
that is awesome.
I mean, you talk about Phil Fulmer to that. Yeah. It was so drastic of a change. But again, he's a genius. He's an offensive genius. Oh my gosh, great coach, but just wasn't ready. And he's doing awesome now at Ole Miss. But that was insane.
That is hysterical.
It was insane.
Okay, and then so tell me how you go from there to Clemson.
Yeah.
So because I am a massive Dabo Swinney fan. Yeah. So tell me about him.
Yeah. Man.
I mean, because that's a you got Lane Kiffin and you got Dabo. Right. I mean, they're about as night and day.
A little different. Well, the crazy part about that is that was really kind of the last era of the old school coaches. With Joe Pop at Penn State. Jim Tressel was still at Ohio State. Just kind of all those guys. Yeah, all those guys. Again, Fulmer at Tennessee. Saban was at Bama. Gus had just gotten to Auburn. Gus Malzahn had just gotten. Yeah, he was.
And that was Rhett's mentor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so we're doing all this tour with these older, established football coaches. And lo and behold, one of the defensive line coaches that I knew forever, family friend, I've just known him through going to camps. When that staff got fired with Fulmer, he got hired by Coach Swinney at Clemson. So as soon as I decommitted, he gives me a call, says, "Hey, I'd love for you to come, take a visit to Clemson." And I said, "Where?" Listen to this.
You know what?
I had no clue what it was.
I had to.
Well, I didn't know where. I didn't know it was in South Carolina. Didn't know it was the Tigers.
That's close.
Didn't know anything about it. And then he's like, "Yeah, we're in the ACC." I said, "Whoa, hold on. I'm not going to that's a basketball conference." How crazy. I mean, a drastic, turnaround. And so I say that, kind of blow him off. And then, he gives me a call a couple of months later. We're touring Auburn, which is right down 85. I mean, that highway goes from Auburn, Clemson, my house. It's a straight line. And we're coming home, and he knows I'm leaving. He says, "Hey, just stop by." And we say, "Well, it'd be great to see just Coach Brooks. We'll go see him." Man, we pull off of 85, and y'all will see this one day. Tiger paws on the street. Purple and orange sunset. I'm like, where the heck? Because again, I'm used to big cities, bigger schools kind of surrounded, and I'm passing cow pastures and sunflower fields. Where the heck are we? What is this place? I'm getting goosebumps talking about this. And so the TomTom back in the day, not our phones, not the iPhone, TomTom, says the stadium's 2 minutes away, and we're again passing fields. I'm like, there's not a stadium about to come out of anywhere. Man, we come around that corner and just out of the trees rips Death Valley. And right away, you're like, okay, this is different. And then you meet Dabo.
Right.
Night and day, totally different. Energy, young, passionate, loves his players. Not that everybody doesn't love their players, but differently.
No, I think there's a lot of coaches that don't seriously love their players. I mean, but you can feel it when you hear Dabo. There is true love for his players.
Yeah, and this is a no-name guy that's just been a wide receivers coach that somehow was promoted to interim and then head coach. So, I'm like, okay, well, he's probably not going to be here by the time I finish. So, because I just went through that with Fulmer. Now it's a real thing that coaches get fired. And so I'm like, okay, let's look at the school. But it just kept coming back to him, man, and how passionate he was. And immediately I was hooked. Never knew anything about it.
Wow.
But just meeting him and seeing that university.
And they were thinking right away, you're not a tight end.
No, at least here. Well, I will say back then, Billy Napier was the offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Two tight ends, fullback. So I actually
I was just wondering, were they recruiting you for as tight end? Okay.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
That's a great story.
He's the best. To go back to that quickly, he cares about off the field man development into great husbands, great fathers, great members of society. And he knows the football stuff will take care of business. And that's why he's been so successful. It's why he's been so scrutinized. It's why people lash out. The other entities of the world that will criticize him heavily because of the way he does stuff. But if you ask any single player, staff member, support staff member, he's the real deal.
You know what?
And I see a lot of that in Rhett, too.
I was going to say, it reminds me a lot of Rhett. We're going to do a podcast tomorrow, I think, with Rhett and Lauren.
Yeah.
His wife. Cool. And it's going to be
going to dinner with them tonight. We're so excited.
You're going to love. You're going to love. I'm not sure if you know Lauren or not.
But we met her. She's awesome.
She's just fantastic.
Great family.
So, all right. So you're at Clemson. You're now playing line. Gain all this weight. 7 meals a day. All ACC lineman, and then you become Mr. Clemson. How'd you get that?
Man, this guy studies, man.
He does.
He studies.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
That's right.
So it's got to be true.
It has to be. He's struck. He's doing it right now. He's doing it, hitting 1,000. Yeah, man. I think it is such an interesting, kind of funny, honestly, that I go from not knowing anything about it to doing anything for that school and being called Mr. Clemson. And kind of the origin story quickly for some that like, what are you talking about? Did you call yourself that? I'm at a convention with other student athletes, and a couple of my high school kind of buddies, teammates, were at North Carolina, at NC State, and we walk into this thing, and I'm in all orange, of course, wearing my team stuff. Yeah. And this guy just goes, "Oh, Mr. Clemson's here, Mr. Clemson." And so it kind of stuck. Everybody that from Clemson was there with me when we came home. That's what everyone started calling me. So the last 2 years, up until now, kind of, that title kind of set in.
Oh, that's so good.
Something that you take with a lot of, just like you do. You're Mr. SMU. You understand. You understand what it's like, because you'll do anything for you.
I actually will. Yeah. I will, and I'd love giving back. So, how did you go from? Okay, now you're done.
Yeah.
How did the ACC Network find you?
Yeah.
I mean, because by the way, we should have said this at the beginning. You and EJ and Taylor. Yeah. That's your
squad.
That's your talent.
That's right.
That's the ACC talent. The air quotes talent. And they were here today.
What were you earlier? I'm the talent.
I'm the wallet.
We're all trying to be the wallet. We're all trying to be the wallet.
But they were here filming. I think is it gonna be on TV tonight?
Tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, if this is released today.
I'm not sure if we can release it today, but it's
5 o'clock your time, 6 o'clock East Coast.
And it's you guys talking about SMU and the transition to the ACC.
Which is great.
So what do? Do you go week to week to a different school? I mean, how do you do?
Right now this tour is every day. So they split us all up. Okay. They're in North Carolina tomorrow. We'll be in Miami Thursday, and I'm not sure where they are Friday. But so we got different crews.
How many crews you got?
I think it's 3.
Okay.
But they cross-pollinate a little bit. So like this week I'm with EJ and Taylor. Next week we're at the Virginia schools. Tuesday, Thursday I'm with Eddie and Taylor. And then I'll wrap up at Clemson on Monday, the following Monday. The return. Homecoming, baby.
You're wearing your orange.
Oh,
I appreciate the fact you're wearing
SMU. I
love to represent.
You give it to me. I'll take. You see the J's? I got the blue on there.
I'm loving it.
I'm loving it. So we do that. We'll wrap up there. West Durham and Eddie Royal will be with me in Clemson. And then the season starts.
I know, it's right around the corner.
Man, we start in a hurry. So
are you going to Ireland?
No, I'm not cool enough to get invited. She will. Taylor's over there.
Notre Dame.
Right. Taylor didn't invite me to Ireland. Thank you, Taylor.
Come on.
But no. So week 0 will cover you guys. Half of us will be in Ireland. Half will be in Bristol. And then week 1, this is where it's really fun. Wednesday, Thursday, we're in Raleigh for NC State's opener Thursday night. Friday, Saturday, we're in Atlanta in the morning, starting with Clemson, Georgia. So we'll be there, which is huge game.
Huge game.
Then at the night, we'll move over to Georgia Tech. So we'll be at their house. Sunday, travel to Tallahassee for a Monday night game with the Noles.
Wow.
Then week 2, it gets a little more normal.
Who do the Noles play?
Boston College. So they have Georgia Tech across the pond, and then Boston College Monday night.
And then they come here?
Or week 5, not till week 5.
Okay.
They've got some time. And maybe we'll be back. Don't tell anybody.
That would be really
awesome.
fun.
It'd be awesome.
I tell you what, we are so happy to be in the ACC,
and
it's going to be great. I think Dallas is going to connect with the ACC,
question.
and I know SMU will.
We'd love to.
So, all right, I think we've gone long enough. Tell you what, you notice distinctly we do not have a bottle of wine here today. That's because we're going to announce the Pony Express case Thursday. And it's going to be rocking. I just picked it. I picked all 12 bottles. I've got a game. For every game, I got a bottle. It's the highest rated box of wine that we've ever put together that you'll ever find maybe anywhere in the world.
Come on.
It's unbelievable. Like 99-pointer, 98-pointer, 98-pointer. I mean, unbelievable. And Billy and I, only for the people that, you know what? Just admit it's a special Pony Express case.
Wow.
And if people buy it, I'll fill it.
Wow.
And if they don't, I know it's so it'll be 500. I'm guessing.
Sure.
And most of our wines are sold out, but I always hold this back.
That's cool.
And we did it last year for the first time. So what it is, what kind of the rule of thumb is, Eric, is if you win, you deserve it.
Right.
And if you lose, you need it. So that's just
Napoleon used to say that about champagne.
Yeah, it's Napoleon started that. So anyway, and Billy and I are going to make our preseason picks.
Yes.
Game by game, starting with the Huskies of Nevada, going all the way to Cal at the end, and each week it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to surprise you how optimistic I am this year.
Here we go.
10 plus?
I'm going to say 10.
Wow.
I can't go plus unless you include December 7th
bowl game.
Yeah.
Bowl game
Or ACC championship.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's kind of my big picture. I know we need to go. I'm sorry. If you guys win 9 games, this place will explode.
It will.
Recruiting, other donors, excitement level, the town, the stadium.
Oh yeah, we just gave him a tour of the new. We just gave him a tour of the new end zone. It's
Thank
awesome.
you for your.
It is awesome. It's really
it's
awesome. Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, Gary Weber, for funding that
That's
bad boy.
right.
It's really
That's
fun.
right. Yeah.
We're going to change the football Armstrong operations building to the Armstrong Spa and Gym.
I love it. I love it. Hopefully you're not walking around in a towel though.
People need to see that. Hopefully it is a towel.
Yeah.
Hopefully it is a towel.
True.
All right, thanks, Billy. This is awesome.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Bill. Eric Mac Lain with the ACC Network, stopping by on the Walking Strong podcast. Appreciate you guys stopping in, and we'll catch you next time.
Awesome.